Peace Osenere. And just to let you in that, we are streaming at the moment YouTube, so you might just want to hurry up to Facebook and YouTube so you can join the conversation. It's at Eagles FM Abuja on YouTube and Facebook, and don't forget to give us a like, do it to subscribe, and also follow us on Facebook. It's very, very important. You might as well share your 2 cents with regards to the subject matter across these platforms, and we'll be glad to acknowledge your thoughts. Well, today on the show, we're going to be looking at the views and counter views trailing the conduct of by-elections in Nigeria, and as to whether or not, the conduct of by-elections should be suspended. All right, I have my guest in the studios this morning to discuss this with. He is the 2023 Labour Party Edo State senatorial candidate, the person of Dr. Christian Omofoma Osereme. Good morning to you, and a Happy New Year as well. I'm seeing you for the first time this year.
Good morning, Samara. How are you doing? Happy
New Year. Thank you. Right. Okay, so just a quick background. The Nigeria's electoral system has been plagued by controversies surrounding by-elections, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is responsible for conducting elections, including by-elections, which are held to fill vacant legislative seats. However, the frequency and cost of these elections have raised concerns. In recent years, Nigeria witnessed a surge in by-elections due to various factors, including resignations, death, and court rulings. Now, this has actually put a strain on INEC's resources, prompting calls for reform. Now, we understand that a human rights lawyer and also a senior advocate of Nigeria, political parties be allowed to internally replace vacant legislative seats without conducting by-elections. However, with resistance from various stakeholders. Consequently, the All Progressives Congress and the Labour Party, for example, they have rejected Femi Falana's proposal, arguing that it would undermine democratic principles. Instead, they support INEC's decision to conduct by-elections. Now, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu has expressed concerns over the financial burden of frequent by-elections, revealing that 23 legislative seats have become vacant since June 2023. The People's Democratic Party has supported Falana's proposal, suggesting that it would have, it would save resources and reduce the financial burden on INEC. To tinker with this, like I introduced earlier, Dr. Osereme is right here in the studios. He is a Labour Party chieftain and is also hoping to fill a vacant, position, in Edo State, talking about a senatorial, vacant position in Edo State. But to start the conversation, how has it been? I see that you've been up and busy with regards to, the conduct of the by-election. How's it been?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been great, and I'm looking to contest the by-elections in Edo Central to fill the vacant seats that His Excellency Senator Mondo Pevolo was filling. So that's one of the major reasons why I've been back and forth the states. And I also have projects going on there, which I supervise constantly to 8 federal districts. So that's mostly why.
Right. So when you compare the level of politicking for by-elections and what is obtainable when it comes to general elections, how is it? Is there really any difference?
There's quite a bit of difference. One is the stakeholder engagement. The people, because of the level of voter apathy in Nigeria, the engagement is not as much. Only when you have a candidate whom the people feel was robbed, and then they want to get engaged to see how they can help the candidate get back the seat. And so that is when you see that. Then for the political parties too, the awareness is there, the engagement is there, but it's a different animal altogether. Because most of the time the party in power, especially within the states, always tend to believe they can somehow find a way to favor their candidates. The apparatus, the state apparatus will be in their hands, the police and other structures.
Right.
So yeah, that's that.
Okay, I mean, having registered that, is that a fear? I mean, a concern for you, knowing that you're not even part of the ruling party?
It's a concern, but it's not a fear. It's something. It's not an insurmountable. The people really come out to vote for you. I don't think anything can be done by anyone with regards to stealing the elections. The vote is really overwhelming. In cases of it's when there isn't really much difference. People can really maneuver the results of the election. That's how I see it. I'm doing my job. I'm campaigning, and the people are seeing what I'm doing, and hopefully we're trying to turn out the vote so that there will be a lot of voters. And when that happens, I think we'll be able to take the day and win the elections.
All right. I mean, aspiring to fill that vacant position, that was once occupied by Senator Monjok Bebolo, who is now the governor of the state. I mean, what are the things that are like, priority to you in terms of, convincing the people to come out in their numbers to vote for you?
For me, the primary thing is the development of Edo Central, the development of that of my constituency. And in that regard, even after the loss of the 2022 general elections, I went to work and doing projects for the people, borehole projects, street light projects, building schools, financial aids to people, helping people start businesses, all sorts of palliatives and incentives to get the people back to work. Primary concerns, and that is what I believe we need. So these are my drivers. These are things that I know will help make the people see who the best candidate is to represent them. So yeah, he did his bit, and he's gone. The seat is vacant. So it's time I also do my bit, being the senator, to replace him.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So where exactly do you stand on this? I wouldn't want you to sit on the fence. I want you to be very firm with your response on the conduct of by-elections in Nigeria.
By-elections in Nigeria, I think, the National Assembly should amend the laws, actually. First of all, they are too expensive to conduct.
By-elections are too expensive?
Yes, they are too expensive. INEC is asking for a whole lot of money to do for example, INEC is saying they already have 500 million to conduct the by-elections they need to conduct this year, and yet it's not enough. I mean, INEC is not hiring new staffs. We already have all the materials we need to conduct the elections. Vis-a-vis, the people's machines are already there, the cubicles are there, IRF is there, the staff, the operation staff are already there. Yes, there will be a few ad hoc staffs here and there, but most of the staff of INEC would not be conducting elections, so people can be redeployed to conduct the by-elections. I mean, there are just 11 of them. The cost shouldn't be that great, but you find out that at the end of the day, the cost is still bloated, which I would say over bloated. So the cost is too high. Then I think there should be alternatives. The law should be amended. Okay, for example, Femi Falana, senior advocate, was saying the party should fill the positions. I think that is not right and it's not fair. In the sense that, yes, the ticket belongs to the party, the votes belong to the party. But if a party willingly, knowing that they are putting up forth a candidate for an executive position who was just elected, or allow their candidate to resign who has been elected, right? Like in the case of Optimism, Excellency, the party gave him tickets, right, to go run for governor. He has won the election, okay, and the party is happy. And so automatically, INEC should immediately call on whoever came second in the
conduct of that senatorial election. Yes,
to replace him. Yes, you said the ticket, the votes belong to the party, but listen, you cannot eat your cake and have it. The party cannot be saying okay, we are putting up a candidate, knowing that if the candidate wins, so automatically you forfeit that vote, and the election was conducted, and the results were accepted. So just like any other race, if the person who comes first resigns, then the person who the second have it.
All right, but in the case of those states now, which party actually came second?
The Labour Party came second. No, don't look at that bias.
Oh, that's why you're clamoring for this, because you are
no.
a member of the Labour Party.
I'm a member of the Labour Party. Yes,
Right.
yes. In this very instance, there are 11 elections, by-elections to be conducted. Yes, yes, I may be a beneficiary of one of them, but this is something we should look at critically. The election was conducted. Somebody came second. Even the vote difference was marginal. It was slim. The people have voted and said, okay, we want these two people. Fine, one won, right? And if the one that won decided, you know what, I'm going to resign from the Senate. So automatically, it should go to the second person. Why are we looking for money to conduct a fresh election? And you're saying the Falana's argument, I don't buy it, because he's saying because the votes belong to the party, right? For God's sake, the party willingly nominated somebody,
one person,
okay, to go represent her in another race. And so you cannot, you shouldn't
undermine the efforts of other political
parties
who also fought for that same position.
So automatically then you should go to the next party. You cannot eat your cake and have it.
But would that really ensure or would that really bring about the reflection of democratic representation at the end of the day?
It's a very democratic representation. By the way, that's just one instance of voluntary resignation. But there might be cases of death, that can be looked at separately. Listen, this is our society. We are citizens of this country. We want it to be good for everyone. The laws can be amended to suit every purpose. Okay, in the case of death, when the candidate, when the representative dies, for example, then the vote belongs to the party. Falana's argument can come up and say, okay, fine, let them appoint someone else
from the party,
right? Or you can be talking of a by-election to replace the person. But in the case where the party was connived, I'll use the word connived, with the candidates, with the representative, and say, okay, come and take ticket for another position, okay? And now they win their election. You should automatically forfeit the other votes to the next party. You shouldn't be having it both ways. You cannot be holding on to the vote here and you're holding on to the vote here. It shouldn't be done. Okay, what if you decide again to give the votes, your votes, and nominate this executive person? What if they now say, okay, fine, go become a minister or go become a vice president or be president? So what are we doing? We just keep conducting by-elections?
But let me ask you something. I mean, when you talk about democratic representation in such a way that people would be able to enjoy the dividends of democracy at the end of the day, you contend the 2023 general elections, right? And you came second, according to your party, came second.
Yeah.
And Senator Okpebholo Monde, who's now the governor, actually came first. Yeah. Now, after he was declared winner of that election, did you fold your arms? Did you go back into your shell? Was there any continuity in terms of, project execution?
Oh, definitely, yeah. After the election, remember vividly, I came back from Canada after almost 20 years because of I wanted to help the Labour Party and His Excellency Peter Obi to win the general elections. And somewhere along the line, I got involved in politics for the first time and got the ticket and ran for the election. And so I campaigned vigorously around my senatorial district. And there were a lot of lapses, a lot of things I noticed and I knew I could do to help the people. And after the loss, I could have gone back. I didn't go back. I got to work and I started doing projects for the people. And since then, we've done a whole lot of projects. I've attracted so much projects to the place. At least almost 2 billion naira of projects I've attracted to Edo Central.
But how optimistic are you that the odds are going to be in your favor this time around?
Listen, the people are ready to vote for me.
All right.
When I get the tickets, people are ready to vote. The way the Nigerian, like this staggered election thing, it gives undue advantage to whoever the ruling party is. We all know that it gives them undue advantage because the paraphernalia is now in their hands, you know, and the security architecture of the state is in their hands, you know, and even the umpires is somewhat 70% in their hands.
Well, that speaks volumes now.
He who pays the piper calls the shots.
Okay.
That is how it works everywhere in the world.
Okay.
You know, and you know, so that's why I said 70%. They can't be independent if they want to be independent. You know, we are all in this country. We know what happens in Nigeria, and you know, so I am optimistic I can take it, and I'm optimistic INEC will truly be independent in this case, and I'm optimistic I'll have enough votes to make sure nothing will go wrong.
All right. You know, a number of observers or political analysts, sharing their 2 cents on this development are saying that INEC does not really have the right to lament about the cost implication of running by or conducting by-elections too frequently, especially when they cannot make some adjustments or reforms in such a way that all of our elections be conducted in one day. What is your thought, or what are your thoughts on that?
INEC is not actually, I don't know if INEC is lamenting the cost for conducting elections itself. INEC is saying they want money. They want more money.
It all boils down to that.
Yeah, it boils
not
down
having
to
enough
that.
resources, and then expectations are also high.
Expectations are high. They don't have enough resources. Then let us streamline the number of elections we are conducting. Like I said, 11 of these elections were 9 already last year, right? And we still have about 11,
right,
14 or so to conduct this year. Out of that 14, so I think 11. Out of that 11, 6 were people getting executive positions, people resigning. You know, they're all not dead. You know, if what I'm advocating can be passed into law, you see that 11 will be cut down to just 5 elections. Right, automatically, every other person came second in the other races. Everybody will just automatically fill the seats. Okay, so whatever funds they have now would have already been enough. The 500 million they are saying they have now for the conduct of these elections would be more than enough to do the job. You know, so the country. We are saying the country is broke. All our agencies, ministry, MTAs, you know, are all complaining of funds. We should find a way to streamline costs, you know, and for God's sake, you know, again, the laws should be amended, okay, to situations to if you want to contest for an election and you're already holding an elected position, you should resign first and go contest. There are several reasons for that. One being that the 6 months to 8 months to spend running for the election, okay, you are no longer adequately representing your people. The oath you swore to, you cannot abide by the oath. You are distracted. Running for an election is a full-time job.
Right.
So you are distracted. So as long as you cannot stand by that oath anymore, then automatically it should be a case of resignation. It should be the law. Okay. Now, if it's a case of resignation, you will also now see that most people who are already elected would not be running for elected positions. They would not run. I can guarantee you 95% of those who leave the rep and say they want the senatorial position will not try it. Even those in the House of Assembly who wants to go to the rep would not try it. The INEC chairman was complaining of a case where they had to fill a senatorial seat last year, and somebody from the House of Rep contested and won the election. Then now they have to now conduct elections for the rep position, and somebody from the State of Assembly contested and won the election. And now they have to conduct another election for somebody who, you know, if there was a law in place, I said, listen, yes, you have a right to conduct any election at any point in time.
Right.
But if you're already holding an elected position, not an executive position, an elective position, then you must resign from that elective position before you can now become a candidate of the other election.
No, it appears political parties and, the electoral umpire, they've not been able to like harmonize thoughts, by way of coming up with these laws and what have you, when thoughts are not harmonized. Because in the case of Governor Monday Okpebolo of Edo State, he was once a senator. He was first a senator before he became a governor. But the party, right? And he won, the governorship seat. So is it really the fault of INEC now or the political parties?
It's the political parties. That's what I'm saying. No, it's partly the political parties. It's partly the National Assembly.
Okay.
The National Assembly is the one responsible. They are burdened to making these laws. The National Assembly should put a bill in place and find a way to put in all these provisions. Okay? If you are a senator, nobody's saying you cannot go wrong for governor, but you resign. You resign. If you're a House of Rep, nobody is saying, if you're an honorable member, nobody is saying you cannot go wrong to become a governor or a senator. But you resign this one first. Then the person who came second in the race automatically becomes the rep member or becomes the senator.
But wouldn't that, undermine the place of competence if we have a situation whereby, someone party A actually won and then the person is resigning, or he got another, elected position, and then the party that came second should automatically fill that seat? I mean,
it's not a case of competence because most of the time, the second and the person who came second is as good as the first person. The vote difference is usually very marginal. In most cases,
okay.
It's very marginal. Which could have been as a result of, could have been a margin of error. Yeah, so most times, I'm not saying give it to the third, I'm saying the second person, the first run out. That's how it should work. If you do that, believe me, all these cases of by-election elections will be reduced to a barest minimum. If you implement that and implement what I'm advocating here now, that you must resign. Yes, fine. As an aspirant, you can run, but the minute to become a party candidate, then you have to resign.
All right.
Yes, you cannot be holding the two. You have to resign.
Okay.
So if you put that in place, people will not run.
But from your own perspective, I mean, as a politician, would you say that the INEC, the electoral umpire, has done enough in a bid to like ensure proper monitoring and evaluation of frameworks to track the progress of electoral reforms in the country?
Let's not kid ourselves. INEC is first of all overburdened. Okay,
overburdened with or by what?
Yeah, but there's too much responsibilities. INEC is overburdened with things it should not be, it should not have control over, it should not be burdened with. For example, party management. Okay, a big chunk of INEC resources is also going towards party management. And you find that all the political parties in Nigeria, there's always crises, there's always issues. Party management should be a separate body, an independent body to manage the political parties. INEC is doing that right now, currently doing that, and it shouldn't be. So INEC needs to be unbundled. There are a whole lot of things INEC is doing. Even the INEC chairman was also saying they have to do CVR, voter registration, redistribution of polling units and all that. Because after every election, they describe some units are overpopulated, some are underpopulated. So you have to redistribute the polling units and maybe create additional polling units. That should be a task of a separate body. Voter registration. You understand? Voter registration should be.
No, but there are different departments, under the electoral.
There are different departments, but INEC is overburdened. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one person, the INEC chairman.
But we're looking at, reducing cost of governance in the country. So if a different body is created, to be saddled with such responsibilities, just like you've highlighted, I mean, it will also come with cost implications. Yeah,
but it will also drastically reduce the amount of staff INEC has. And it will come with cost implications, but it would create sanity. It would make INEC focus on doing what they are supposed to do. You were talking about INEC not being as great an umpire as they should be. We're talking about problems during the elections, poor result management and all that. People are aggrieved. this is just one of the ways to reduce that. And we all know there are other factors too that's contributing to improper, perceived improper elections management. So there's much is desired of INEC, and I believe there's so much room.
Well, dear listener, you might be, interested in this conversation and, would want to share your thoughts on this. The numbers to call this morning to be part of the conversation, the numbers are 09087668888 or 09073530044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 09097054450. And of course, across Facebook and YouTube, you might also want to share your thoughts on there. Please do well to do that, and we'll be glad to take your messages as they come. Now, it's actually a question of, whether or not political parties should be allowed to internally replace vacant legislative seats without, putting the burden on INEC to conduct by-elections. So is it a yes for you or a no? And do you think that if we have a situation whereby, just like my guest has just submitted, that if Party A, Party B, and Party C actually, they file candidates to run for a particular, office or position, and then one person decides to resign, or we have a case of, death, should the first runner-up, the person that came second in the course of that election, automatically, fill in that, vacant position? What are your thoughts? Will that really enhance, the essence of democracy in our country, or it would undermine democratic, representation for us in Nigeria? Call in and think what your thoughts are, but please do well to stay civil whilst making your contributions. Avoid the use of vulgar language, and you might want to also do well to turn down the volume of your radio set so we can hear ourselves very clearly. I think it's very, very important for us to register that fact. But we'll go pay some bills. When we come back, the conversation will continue. Do join us again.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just
20,000 naira?
Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. Hurry now.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
My people, the thing where they happen for my area,
Do you think I will now find out that you have contract to bring fresh girls?
I brought you from the gutters. Who gave you all the connects? MDG who? Without me, you would have been nobody. But
Join Media Coalition and Awareness to Halt Human Trafficking, MICAT, on I Wish I Knew radio drama every Saturday at 10 a.m. Let us join hands and kick human trafficking out of our communities. I Wish I Knew radio drama, brought to you by MICAT in partnership for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NATIP, and funded by the Embassy of Denmark in Nigeria.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
We are back from that break. Thank you so much for staying with us. And if you are just joining us, this is Eagles Outlook live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. And on the show this morning, we are looking at the views and counter views trailing a proposal made by a senior advocate of Nigeria and also human rights lawyer Femi Falana, who has actually proposed that political parties be allowed to internally replace vacant legislative seats without conducting by-elections. And of course, this proposal has been met, with resistance from various stakeholders. We've seen, the likes of the All Progressives Congress, the Labour Party rejecting the proposal, arguing that it would undermine democratic principles. And instead, they've suggested that INEC, must conduct by-elections. But INEC on its part is also expressing concerns, about the fact that the commission is perhaps not properly funded, and there is some sort of slack, in that commission when it comes to executing or bringing about major changes that would further enhance the electoral process in Nigeria. APC on its part has supported Falana's proposal, suggesting that it will save resources and reduce the financial burden on INEC. Do you really think that INEC, has somewhat of, financial burden on its neck or shoulder, and for that reason, the conduct of by-elections, should be suspended? And in the case of resignation or death, those vacant positions can easily and quickly be, filled by these political parties, that actually had representation, especially with regards to that elective position that has now been declared, vacant. The numbers to call are still 09087668888 or 09073530044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 09097054450. Let's take a look at this message. Abbas reporting from Duse says, politicians and political parties in Nigeria will always want to shift the goalpost when it did not favor them. Win or lose, all votes belong to the party. Thus, by-election is by-election. So why would INEC, seal a vacant position to the party that came second when the position is vacant? What happened to the votes of the winning party? That is not acceptable and undermine the principle of simple majority. If by-election is so expensive, let the winning party nominate another candidate or pick the person that came second in primaries to fill in that vacant seat in order to complete the tenure of the one, who left. Abbas reporting from Duse says, thank you, Abbas, for that message. That might not really go down well with my guest in the studios. Or are your thoughts in line with this?
No, not at all. That is so wrong for the party to. Yes, like I said, I think the vote, the Supreme Court has said the vote belongs to the political party. But I am also saying, if the political party whom the vote belongs to willingly allows the vote the person was voted for to go become a candidate and now win another election and resign from that position, then automatically they should forfeit that vote and cede it to whoever came second.
All right, let's take a listen to this voice note. All right.
Good morning, Amafe.
Good morning.
And good morning to your guest in the studio. My name is Peter. I am calling from Dawaki. Well, considering the topic of the day, I will want to subscribe that a lot of money is actually being spent conducting general election. And again, by election, another set of money will be spent that could be channeled into other viable things. So I will want to suggest that a position that is vacant should not be filled by another person from that political party. My reason is that there will not be free, fair in choosing that person that is going to take over the vacant position. It's going to be by those that have selected that person to replace whoever has left. So I want to subscribe to what your guest is saying. When a position is declared vacant, the runner-up of that particular election should occupy that position. There's no need conducting another by-election at all. The reason why the second runner-up should take over that position is that the runner-up also contested the election and is also qualified as the person that came first. When this has been done, I think things will take shape and we are not going to spend so much money conducting an election. That is my own opinion. Thank you, my friend. Thank you to the guests in the house.
All right, thank you. Did I get your name? I'm not sure. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, my sister in the studio. I greet our guests.
Thank you.
Well done for your good job, what you are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to talk about the issue this of our election, what we are doing, where we never they get it right. Every day, our INEC go they tell us how much they go pay for election votes. Even I say we too they put too much money for our votes, for our election. That is why we cannot get it right. Why we not go remove money inside this election, what would they do? Because more would they revoke money put, more would they use money they buy votes. Even the person knows it, they go another winner. Why is it be like that? We cannot get it right. Okay, if they want me to get it right, I think we dey use the HCA. We as we dey so you can sit down for your inside house. You can vote. You can vote for who you want to vote for. No more buying election with money. Why we cannot do like that? We can INEC want to give us now 2027 election. Now if INEC can do as they do HCA card, you just go for it. You go and do it like that. I think everybody go cool down to vote by. Then we not just put money for election day and our vote cannot give money where they want to give them. So our vote cannot cast. Our vote go take cast now. Let everybody stay in house. You go jejeje on your way. You go and vote, and your vote can cast. You go direct for the person that you want to vote for, and that one go help us. You go help us to see direct vote for polling units, and you go help us reduce killing. And it go help us reduce killing of our youth, for us sending you to go and keep where they vote, and it's no good. If that we can get it right, we can get it right too.
Okay.
God bless you.
Baby Blessing, before I let you go, are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm there, yes.
Are you from Edo State?
I'm from Edo State.
Okay, so I mean, my guest is also from Edo State, and he actually contested for the senatorial seat, you know, in the 2023 election, and he didn't win. So he's now aspiring, I mean, with the hope that...
with my customer.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, Bibi Blessing has over time, you know, raised concerns about certain shortcomings in Edo State. So I actually wanted her to like maybe express herself, so you can take note of, you know, some of these things, because I mean, you are in Abuja, you probably might not be aware of all of the issues or happenings, you know, in Edo State. But again, the numbers to call are 09087668888 or 09073530044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 09097054450. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Maria. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from Goodwin.
All right. Please go ahead, Eunice.
As for my own, I want to say sorry for what happened to me for the election. It happened with my father too, because my father for the election, that was the chairman from our local government. It's not easy. It's not easy to my father. As I'm talking to you now, any people listen. My father knows to put his hand for that place again because of what happened to me that time. But as for me, he should not give up. So if God says he will be the one, he will be the one.
All right.
That is my own.
All right. Thank you very much, Eunice. Hello. Good morning to you.
Yes. Good morning to you, Omorfe.
Good morning. Is this
Thank you so much. Yes, this is Omotayo reaching you from Galadima this very humble morning.
All right. Let's hear from you.
Yes, very quickly. Yes, I salute your guest in the studio. You see, on the topic of discussion, you see, when you carry a vote that has been given to an individual under a party, I mean, when you carry it and give somebody again in the same party, so you know that the people, when people go for votes, they don't actually vote for the political party per se, the real ideology that you are voting for a particular political party. That is not how people see it. They vote for candidates under a party. So when you carry such a vote and give to another candidate that's not selected by the people, I mean, was not elected by the people, it is now a selection within the party. I think you have actually clearly undermined the what we call the system of democracy. Exactly. Right. You have undermined it. So I think your guest has a point, a very good point. If a party can willingly allow somebody who was voted for by the people came out, queue because of you, stayed under the sun, went through the rigor to put you in office, you can willingly resign to go and to go and conduct another, to run for another office. My brother, your party should be ready to forfeit it. I mean, you were not ready in the first place. People come out to suffer to put you in a position, and then you relinquish the position to go and bid for a higher position. I mean, you were not ready for the one you were holding in the first place. So, in fact, look, we are undermining democracy with the way we run electoral system in this country.
Okay.
I'm telling you. So, the runner-up automatically should get it. I mean, apart from the fact that yes, your guest may be, I mean, speaking from the side of interest, but I think he's speaking the truth. It's absolutely, I mean, one of the next best options.
All right.
I mean, we're out of funds in this country to be running by-elections every now and then.
All right.
You look at the illustration he gave. An office from the senatorial was relinquished. Somebody from the what's it called, House of Rep won it. Now that of the House of Rep needs to be replaced. Somebody from the this one is another. No, it is nonsense. That is not how to run an election in this country. I think your guest had a very good point. Thank you so much, my dear sister.
Thank you very much, Omotayo. Hello, good morning to you. Hello. Hello, are you there? All right, you might want to call back. The numbers are still 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. And don't forget to also join the conversation across Facebook and YouTube, where we are currently streaming at Eagles FM Abuja. All right. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning.
Yes. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Peter?
What is your name and where you're calling from?
I didn't hear you.
All right. You might want to call back, okay? Hello, good morning.
Come on. Hello.
Yes. Welcome back.
You said something before.
Right. I'm telling you that my guest in the studio is actually from your state, Edo State. So I know that you've over time, raised concerns about some shortcomings in Edo State and the need for the state government, and lawmakers also, most importantly, from these constituencies in your state to look into some of these critical issues. So you might just want to just to bring these things to his notice.
God will bless you, and God will bless my brother in the studio, and welcome my brother back once again. My name is Nabibi Blessy. I call you from Osako here. I read from Edo State, Auchi. What I want to say, anytime I live in one road here, I say our road, Edo people no get light. Our road is bad. During the time of that cycle, the Moshomori, he tried for us more. That is why we vote for who we want to vote for. That is why up till now, as the Moshomori go talk, we go listen for am. When Obasaki come, we know we can make sure Obasaki win the election. We think say he go listen for us. Wait till we no get, he go put an order for us. When we dey talk, he say no, the federal government go do the road, maybe he go do am. Those states they no get a good school, we no get water. Now all this thing, no everyone wey Obasaki do for our place, now e don comot. I think say dem dey give am money, even though no be you go do road, what of light? Even though you no go do road for us, what of school? Even though you no go do road for us, what of hospital? Even though you no go do road for us, why you no go look wetin we no get, you even do one? Obasaki no know our place now, but the way election come now, we go come there. Listen for us, Edo no get better road, we no get light up till now, we no get water, we no get better school. Please, if you can listen for me, go and tell them, make them do one for us. If you na one they do for us, and if we vote, our vote can count, we go thank God. We know say the person wey we vote for, he go listen for us. Whereby we vote, you carry the vote, give another person. E be like say dem no go listen for us, dem go even tell you say, vote them, say we no vote for them. That's why they cannot do anything for us.
Thank you so much for calling. Back. But again, Obaseki is not the one in office at the moment. It's Governor Monday Okwebolo. All right, please keep the calls coming in on 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. Well, we're looking at the justification or otherwise of, the proposal made by a human rights lawyer and also senior advocate of Nigeria, the person of Femi Falana, where he's actually proposed that instead of INEC, to spend monies, to conduct by-elections, the political party, right, should be able to internally fill in, a vacant position, all right, as opposed to conducting by-elections to fill in, some of these vacant positions. But, well, that has been, received or greeted with mixed reactions. We've seen the APC, the Labour Party react, and also the PDP, with a counter reaction to this one, where the PDP is saying that Falana's proposal is actually a step in the right direction, is a very good proposal, suggesting that it will save resources and reduce the financial burden on INEC. And on the other hand, the APC and the Labour Party, they rejected the proposal by Femi Falana, arguing that it would undermine democratic principles. And instead, they think INEC should go ahead, to conduct by-elections in the country. But when you look at conducting by-elections, would you want to suggest that these vacant positions are just, filled by the political parties, or indeed we should go for, a conduct of by-elections in Nigeria? All right. Hello. Good morning to you. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Are you there? Hello. Good morning to you. All right, please do it to call back. We have a message here from Terikim Bihundu. He says, good morning, Efe. I'm in Nasarawa State. Well, good to know. He says, I greet your guest. One that I'm really advocating for is change, or change is the situation whereby state governors, conduct local government election, and then the ruling party in the state sweep all the seats. This is criminal, abuse of democracy, insult to voters. Secondly, despite billions given to INEC during elections, you will discover as little as ink won't be available in some polling units. Or Terikim Bihundu, thank you for that message, but I think we should stick to, the topic of discussion. It's okay for you to want to beat around the bush or digress, but at least be able to hit the nail on the head as far as the topical issue is concerned. All right. We have a message. All right. These are just salutations on the Facebook page, but you might want to be part of the conversation. If you're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube at the moment, do well to drop your comment as to what you make of the topic of discussion this morning. Are you throwing your weight behind the proposal made by the senior advocate of Nigeria, the person of Femi Falana, or you think that INEC should go ahead with the conduct of by-elections, despite the cost implication of conducting these elections? Well, for my guest, he is suggesting or submitting that other things can actually be done with the monies that would have been spent on the conduct of by-elections, and consequently, if Party A actually came first and the seat has been declared vacant, the party that actually came second should automatically fill that position. Are your thoughts any different? Let's hear from you what your thoughts are. All right, Clifford Peter is actually watching us live on Facebook, and he says, good morning. Also, Francis Namani, as always, watching us live from Amagunze in Enugu State. He says, good morning, my people in the studio. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the conversation on Facebook. But please note that it really would be important for you to give us a follow as well. I mean, whilst watching, just do what to give us a follow. And also on YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, do what to just hit the subscribe button. Honestly, we won't take that for granted. Okay, so coming back to my guest now. The truth is, if you want to do a little bit of comparative analysis, there are other countries, in Africa that also experience, this by-election or conduct by-elections. We've seen countries like Ghana and even South Africa, and it was the challenges, of conducting frequent elections. According to reports in Ghana, the Electoral Commission has implemented reforms to reduce the cost of elections, including the use of biometric voter registration. And we've also seen in South Africa, the Independent Electoral Commission has also introduced measures to promote transparency and accountability, including the use of online platforms for voter registration. Now, the controversy surrounding by-elections in Nigeria has significant implications for democratic representation, accountability, and the integrity of the electoral system. But at the end of the day, what are your expectations?
Let's this is a country where when you speak the truth, everybody starts running for cover. Listen, the fact remains that if a thorough and detailed forensic audit is done on our electoral system and the elections conducted in Nigeria, I beg to differ. Up to 50 to 70% of the runner-up candidates would be the winners of those elections.
Why? On what ground?
Because they would have majority of the votes. That is the truth. We all know what's going on. Look at, for example, look at local government elections in Nigeria.
The percentage points you tagged to this your submission now, it speaks volume. So are you by implication?
Because look at what
are you by implication? Largely, I mean, the number of people that have been declared winners, in our, talking about elective positions in the country, they were not really supposed to, be in those positions.
Look at what is going on. The few elections where the forensic audits have been done by independent bodies, it contradicts what INEC declared. The few of them contradict it. Look at. I can name it. There are a whole bunch of them. Go look at the records. It speaks volume. So it's a simple thing. If, like I said, I maintain that if you willingly resign and the party collaborates with you to go become their candidate and you win an election and the party collaborates with you, you got sworn in, the person who came second, your runner-up in the position, the
opposition party,
yes, immediately should be sworn in. That is how it should work. It's a simple thing because the people also voted. The vote margin was different, and it's like I said, most of the time is within the margin of error, and we all know what happens in this country. Most of the time that's even who the people really want. Is the truth? Is the truth? Let's tell ourselves the truth. So if we should look at our systems. Yes, we want democracy. This is democracy. We can tailor things to work for us. We're talking about South Africa, Ghana. South Africa is not broke. Nigeria is saying we are broke. We have a whole issues bordering down on the little resource.
Broke.
I don't know that for sure. I'm not in government, but if the people in government are saying,
but you are actually monitoring events as they unfold.
Yes, I think we're broke. If we are spending up to 90% of our income servicing standard debts, I mean, that tells you a whole lot. If the official position is, hey, we are spending up to 90% of the revenues coming into this country from crude oil sales to service, we're not paying off the debts, then that tells you a lot. And INEC now is saying they need money. INEC's budget they presented to the National Assembly was for about 126 billion, for 2025. And National Assembly is saying we can give you 40 billion, and INEC is saying no, that won't do anything. So we need to cut down the cost of these things. An election has been conducted, somebody won, and now the person has resigned. Somebody came second, then automatically it shouldn't be a case of a new election.
All right.
You should give it to the guy who came second. It's a simple thing.
You are calling for some sort of amendments
through the Senate, through the National Assembly, to our electoral laws.
All right.
And to the Electoral Act.
Well, we just have to leave the conversation here now because of time, but I've been speaking with Dr. Christian Omofoma Osereme, a Labour Party chieftain. Let's leave it here, but we keep our fingers crossed to see if the proposal made by the human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria will get the warmest reception from Nigeria.
That's the wrong proposal, I think. I think it should not be taken to just give more powers to the already to the political parties already have too much power. Give them undue powers.
All right. Thank you regardless for your submission on the show this morning.
Thank you very much.
And for the contributors, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Those who actually listened, thank you for spending part of your time with us. What is the much you can take on Eagles Outlook for today? And I'd like to state very clearly that the views expressed by the guests and the contributors on the show were not influenced by Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja.